everyone's doing well. So today we're going to go over 7 tips to help you with your selections. We're going to talk about adding to selection, subtracting, inverting, transforming a selection, deselecting it, using other selection tools at the same time, and zooming in and using the hand tool. So before we start, I want to make sure that you guys know that these selection tools that we've been using have an option bar that changes based on the tool. However, this area here is pretty much the same for all of them, okay? So let's say we go to lasso tool. This item right here is called a new selection. So if I make one selection here, and I'm on new selection, and I make another selection here, the one that I currently have, this one here, will go away because I'm making a new selection. Let's say I'm going to add to selection. So I'm going to click here, and I'm going to add into my selection. For this project, I probably end up using the elliptical marquee tool to make these circular shapes of my grapes, because it just makes sense. These are circles, so I probably should use the elliptical marquee tool to make those circly round shapes, right? So let's see here, right? Okay, as we're making those selections. Now, if you wanted to subtract from your selection, let's say you did a mistake here, oopsie, mistake, you will go to this item here, subtract from selection. Then I will go to my lasso tool, or my polygon lasso tool, whichever you like, make sure it's on the, so you said adding right now, I want to go to subtracting. And I'm going to start making a circle around the area that I accidentally have too much of to remove it from my selection, okay? This one here is called the intersect from selection. I don't use it often enough because it doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know how to use it well enough, so I'm not going to bother with it. But as a recap, new selection, adding to selection, right? Subtracting from a selection. And be mindful of these areas here because sometimes depending on the tool you want, it might change. So I'm going to make those circles. Now we're also doing number 6, using several selection tools at the same time. Now let's say you wanted, for some whatever reason, you wanted the opposite of the selection, right? So let's say you are here and you have this here selected, right? And I say Command C, Command V, but the opposite is selected. You have the background. You need the grapes. So I'm going to go back. We're going to go back until you see this area here. You want to inverse, you want the opposite. So in your menus up here, not file, not image, not edit, we're talking about selection, so we're going to go to select. And we're going to say inverse. Now, the background is not selected, but the inside is. So I'm going to say Command C, Command V, and there it is. To test our theory, it is oppositely selected. Now, we talked about inversing, transforming a selection. Let's say for whatever reason you want the selection to be more closed in, more in, not out. You want to make it smaller. Like we did for our plates, if you guys remember that. We're talking about selection, and we will go to transform a selection. Then you have your bounding box that you can adjust the selection and make the selection bigger or smaller. And then when you're done, you can press check or you can press return on your keyboard for it to go away. Now, selections. You no longer want the selection. You want to get rid of it. You can't get rid of it, try to get rid of it, can't. So what you would do is you would go to select and deselect, or Command D. So I will press Command D, and there it is, it's deselected. Using other tools at the same time. So again, I'm using the elliptical marquee tool to make all these little circles, right? With the add selection tool option on, okay? Adding to it. You then can go ahead and clean up some areas, like for example here, with the polygon lasso tool. But I'm going to zoom in so we can do better selections, right? I'm going to Command plus, way zoomed in, right? More, so I can do a better selection. Then, we're in 7, by the way. I'm going to use the polygon lasso tool. I'm going to make sure that I'm on plus. Also, if you're still with me here, you're going to see that there's a little plus sign by the tool as I'm going around, right? There's also an option on your space, it's also a key that you can use to add to your selection. Let's say you do a mistake here, right? You want to remove this from your selection. You can go to, obviously, you could come here and say to, remove from a selection this way. Or if you're in the plus on adding, if you press Option on your keyboard, it's going to toggle back from plus to minus. So I'm going to keep my finger on Option because I want to remove from a selection. Once you let go, it's going to go back to plus because that was the main key that you were adding, right? And now let's say I want to go to lasso tool, make sure you're in the right selection here on adding, continually adding, using the space bar. I zoomed in so much that I can't see I can use these things to move in, but I feel like the hand tool, if you press the space bar, it becomes a hand tool. you have a lot more control of the actual navigation of your document. So as a recap, space bar to go to the hand tool, right? Option when you're selecting to go back from plus to minus. And to zoom out, you press Command minus. To zoom in, you press Command plus. To make the picture fit the screen, Command 0. Hope this was helpful, guys. Bye.